Hey guys, it's me, Andrew Markowitz. Hi there again. Today's video is going to be expanding on one of the many topics that we have discussed, and this one being love. And in one of my last videos, I defined love as three things. I defined it as honesty, I defined it as good, and I defined it as faithful. And I feel like each of these verses kind of represents that in an individual aspect. Um, and they don't per se tie in together. I would not try to tie these three in together. Um, but they are a reflection of each of those values and what God is asking you in each of those values, or at least representing them. James is basically a representation of God is all good. And you can also see that representation of all good, which I think is the first one I should get into, is I define it as good, and then I defined as doing good is doing the morally righteous thing for another person. And the reason why I said for and not by another person is because of the fact that love is a pyramid for Christians. We have a priority list of love as Christians. That priority list of love is supposed to look like God, family, your friends, then yourself. That's your priority list of love. And there's one more in there, which is your spouse, that goes above family. Uh, and that's kind of how your pyramid is supposed to be. So you're supposed to love God first. Well, God gave you a great set of instructions when it came to that. In which case is how to be good. He gave us the Ten Commandments, which you should live by. I mean, you should live by them in all aspects. And that includes one that I've been skipping really badly on, and man, it's punishing me hard. It's a day of rest. I haven't been resting. I haven't been resting properly. I need to figure that out. I need to figure out how to plan it. I need to make it consistent, because man, I'm struggling right now with that one. Uh, as I stated in my first video, I am covered head to toe in sin, and boy, oh boy, do I feel it at times, people. Boy, oh boy, do I feel it at times. But that's kind of like one of the first structures God gives us in love is to be morally good, to be morally righteous for things. And because God is at the top of that pyramid, that means doing good first. That means following his Ten Commandments. That means doing those things in the order of the Ten Commandments, kind of, and prioritizing each thing in that aspect. So, one of the first things God gave us as a part of that is to be good, because one of the first things He gave us, or He gave the people of the Jews, was the Ten Commandments. So, good actually kind of has to come first. Good has to come before this one. And this one is a representation of honesty. Honesty is a super, super important thing in your faith. God asks us constantly to be honest with us and honest with others. Proverbs 11:13 says, "A gossip or talebearer reveals secrets, while a trustworthy and faithful person keeps a confidence." This isn't asking you to keep secrets. This is asking you to be trustworthy, to be good, to be honest with others, and value their trust. It is telling you to basically be truthful at all costs, but don't lie to hold on to things, because it won't get you anywhere. And then 924 is faithfulness. And the reason why I think it's a great thing for faithfulness is because it is when Jesus is the father of a child comes up to Jesus with an afflicted boy, and he basically cries out to Jesus and goes, "I do believe, help my unbelief." And what God asks us to do is, even when our faith is being shaken, even when our trust in another person is being shaken, He asks us to believe in Him, to have the faith that He is guiding us on the right path, that He is putting us on the right direction, that He is taking us down the road that He needs us to go. And so that's what I mean by love kind of ties all three of these things in. And you might go, well, each of these are a good aspect in their own, but how is this being loving to another person? If you think about it, if you're not faithful to another person, you're not being honest with that person. So you violate honesty. And then if you violate honesty, one of the things that's asked of you in the Ten Commandments is to treat your father and mother with respect, to love God with all their heart, have no idols before Him, and to care about your neighbor. Well, you just violated the rules of love that I just stated because you violated honesty. You're lying to others. You're being deceitful. You're not being truthful. So therefore, you're violating the Ten Commandments. Therefore, you're not honoring God. You're not serving God. Therefore, if you break any one of these aspects and you break that order of love, you're breaking love in general. You're breaking love as a whole on how to love. So, and I really, really want to dig into this and really take a read at this idea that I have in my head, where yes, I truly believe that being loving, and this includes whether it's your spouse, God, or anybody, is being honest, good, and faithful. And so this is probably the first of many videos that I'm going to try to do to get at that, cite that, dig into each of these aspects, probably dealing with good first, and then good should be able to, if I'm able to do this, tie into each of these aspects. By being, well, I can just think of it in the fact that, for example, by being good, I am being faithful, and part of being faithful is being honest. They loop in inner, this is what I meant by the weave that I talked about in my very first video. They knit and weave into each other so well and so intricately that I can even take 3 verses like this that literally don't actually have a physical tie-in together, but represent these values that I'm talking about, and they knit and they mix together, and you can kind of see, oh, this is what God's asking me to do. And I think that's awesome. And I kind of just wanted to get a video out there kind of explaining this and digging into this a little bit. And this is definitely one that I want to talk to a lot more. Is how do these 3 tie in to each other? How do these 3 all work together? I think that's going to be it for this video, though, guys. This is kind of just a prelude to many things to come. And that's going to be it for this one. Catch you guys later. Like, sub, hit the bell icon, and that'll be all.